Okay, so at the moment, it's the FIFA eWorld Cup where pros are playing for a $1 million prize pool. And there's a formation that is dominating the pro scene at the minute, which I'm going to show you guys. Let's try and hit 100 likes on the video, and I hope this helps. If you're tired of coming up against teams like this, you can get some foot coins through MMO EXP using the link down below. You can also use code JambooUK for 5% off. So there is one main formation, but also a secondary that a few are using. So I'll show you both of them and also some tactics for you guys to try. I'd appreciate if you left a like on the video, subscribe for the best tactics on YouTube, and let's get into it. Okay, so if you watch my channel regularly, you'll know that my team is way behind the power curve because I don't use my own account. I do run a weekend league service. Apparently the rewards this weekend are actually going to be really good. So if you want me to play for you, link is in the description. I think it's going to be shapeshifters in the rewards if I'm not mistaken. But I'll wait for EA to properly announce that. But yeah, that's why the team is so far behind the power curve, but it doesn't matter for the purpose of this video. I'm just going to show you guys the custom tactics. So the first formation, of course, it is the best formation in FIFA 23. It is the 5-4-1. Absolutely disgusting formation, to be honest with you. It defends so well, it attacks so well. No real weakness other than, you know, maybe you could say it's got the one striker, but it just doesn't really matter. Like, you get so many attacking options with the wingers, the overlapping fullbacks. These are some tactics that I'd recommend trying out for it. So balance on the defensive, 50 on the width. I like to play a higher depth, especially in weekend league, you know, where I'm trying to get rage quits, all that sort of stuff. High depth, you know, create more chances, a little bit more risk, but if you like to play on the front foot, you want to get to around that 70 depth. If you prefer defensive minded play a little bit more, you can drop it down. Probably the lowest I'd recommend is 55, but I go with the 70 anyway. Balance, direct passing, of course, that has been the meta for a couple of years now at least. Just pushes your opponent's back line, you know, deep into their box and makes it very difficult for them to defend around the area. 40 on the width. We have 6 players in the box and 1 on the corners and free kicks. So this is somewhat how I'd recommend lining it up. So if you can get a left footer on the left, that is ideal, you know, for the Travellas, and the same with the right hand side. I don't have it in this team, but it is what it is. 5-star, 5-star on your striker, always recommended, always nice, of course. I like having 2 box-to-box centre mids. I think at this point in the game, there's so many good centre mids that are unreal defensively, but also good going forward. So Busquets being a prime example of that. Rodri as well, who I do have at centre-back in this team. But those sort of elite, you know, box-to-box midfielders that can just do everything. If you are lucky enough to have any of them, you'll know who they are. And they're sort of who I'd recommend. You don't want a player in a centre-mid position in any setup, in my opinion, who can't go forward. I think centre-mids on this game especially, they offer so much in the attack that the last thing you want is to just be limited by someone who can't dribble or shoot, for example. So that is how we line that up. The wing backs, super important here. They are going to overlap the wide players and get heavily involved in the attack. They'll actually get opportunities to score goals as well, and it's very important to pick ones that are good on the ball. Like Cuadrado's insane for it, the same with Alba as well. And then for the 3 centre-backs, just the same as any centre-backs in FIFA this year. You know, quick, good defensively, good physically. So for the instructions, we have stay central, get in behind on the left and right mids as well. And then just cover centre on the centre mids. I'm actually quite a fan of cover wide. But in a formation like this, you know, where you've got wing backs, wide players, you just don't need it. You're never going to have your centre mid fill in. So cover centre, and the most important one in my opinion is overlap on the wing backs. They're gonna, you know, go ahead of the wingers. They're just going to be making runs. You've always got the fullback to fullback switch in this setup as well. It's super easy to keep the ball in a 5-4-1. There's just so many options, you know, to pass around the back. You've got 4 midfielders. But the beauty of this formation is, even though you only have 1 striker, you end up having your two wide players, you know, making runs in behind. You've then got the wing backs overlapping them. Like, you just have so many options going forward. It is a joke. And then, of course, defensively, you're going to have the five at the back, and you're going to have all these guys helping out as well. So that is the 5-4-1, most disgusting, broken formation in the game. But I have seen the 4-4-2 being used at the E-World Cup as well. This is what I'd recommend for it. You know, pretty similar. Like, I don't change my tactics drastically depending on the formation. It's always a pretty high depth, you know, pretty standard width. Normally 6 players in the box. That is just how I like to roll with it. So the 4-4-2, this is the one with CDMs because they do sort of get involved in the attack as well, but they just drop a bit deeper, obviously, than centre mids when defending. Bit of a makeshift setup here. Like I say, I don't use the account, but 1000 IQ play here, sticking Rodri in at right back to enable the skills of Cuadrado in a wide position. So that is how I would set it up if I touch this account, which I don't. But so for this setup, same again really. Like, I wouldn't recommend, I think you can get away a little bit more. Like, if you had a Vieira in one of these positions, you can get away with it with 2 CDMs, but I'd still rather the box-to-box profile personally. But the beauty of this, you know, 2 strikers, 2 wingers who are going to make runs in behind, and you have 2 CDMs to help out with the defending as well. I definitely think the 5-4-1 is better, you know, especially for the average player as well. It's just a lot more sort of, it does things for you, the 5-4-1, you know, easier to defend, so many options in attack. But if you're a higher level player, you may just prefer the pattern of a 4-4-2 in game. So in terms of the instructions, stay central, get in behind on the strikers. Stay wide, I like to have, although you can try it, you know, just on normal as well, and get in behind. And to be honest with you, even the cut inside is good. It sort of makes them play a bit more like a striker when they start making that run in behind. But I like stay wide on this sort of formation. You know, you've always got the through balls down the line, and then you can look to cut the ball back into the middle. So stay wide, get in behind on the left and right mid. You have stay back while attacking and cover centre on the CDMs. If you're feeling a little bit more ambitious, you can try balanced. It really doesn't matter too much. If you want more defensive stability, stay back. If not, just go balanced. And then with a formation like this, especially in a back 4, unless it's like a 4-3-2-1, you don't really need your fullbacks overlapping. You know, you've got a lot of natural width in this setup anyway, so I'd recommend stay back while attacking. But again, if you want to go a little bit crazy, stick on balanced overlap. It will definitely leave, you know, gaps at the back, but it does also work pretty well. But guys, that is the setup. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your favourite formation and who you're supporting in the E-World Cup. And do me a favour, hit subscribe right now. Do your nice deed of the day for me. Hit subscribe, and peace.